two instances of the same Doctor Strange existed, and what I actually love that the villain won in this universe. Evil Doctor Strange wins, but he loses in reality.
And he loses his life.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he didn't understand the repercussions. He only was deluded enough to want, basically, his one true love back.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortune Theory. So here we are again for another bonus episode of What If.
How you doing?
What If? I'm Oliver. This is Patrick. If you're new to our channel, so on Wednesdays we do bonus episodes, which are we call them bonus episodes, but they kind of just fall into the main mix. Our main videos are Friday nights as their episode. They've got like episode whatever we are on this week. I don't know in the title of each. That's how we do it because that's how we started. On Wednesdays, we do what we like to call little bonuses. It's kind of just like another version of that, where we talk about specific episodes rather than a whole film or a whole TV show. So what we've been doing is that we've been doing these bonus videos on Wednesdays to break down episodes of shows, as you probably know from the title and thumbnail of this video. So today we're going to be breaking down episode 4 of What If. So what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? And yeah,
I like the way they took that as well. I really like the way they went with that.
Broke his arms, broke his heart instead of his hands.
Yeah. What did you think?
But yeah, something like that. It's like I'm starting to kind of get vibes that I got from the original trailers now, where it's like it doesn't all feel, especially because of the way the episode ended, it doesn't feel all fully like, it feels like these are all different timelines. It doesn't feel like it's the same timeline. It feels like they're all different timelines. Because the episode ended with technically the reality breaking. So if that was the timeline that they were following throughout the previous episodes, they can't do anymore technically because they've now just killed everyone. So in a way,
at least in that universe,
but in that specific universe, that pocket universe, like, you know, branch reality, whatever you want to call it, it ended, it died, so it's done. And that's what would have happened if Thanos won in Endgame. That's basically main universe would have had the same reaction. Maybe even threatening multiple.
Are we actually going to get a What If where Thanos won?
I don't know.
That would have to include Infinity War and Endgame, though. So,
it would. I don't know because it was quite a large event, and I don't think they want to retcon it.
No,
it would be what people would want, but I don't think personally they're going to retcon it. That's why we've got these like small, what I'd consider smaller concepts. Like,
well, they're more sort of these ones are like intriguing side ideas, side stories that just
that you haven't thought about.
Oh, hence the name What If.
Yeah.
They just work really well, really, because they are the questions that Marvel fans want to know. Basically, Marvel fans will question themselves. Well, not necessarily want to know.
It answers questions that
they're more just like side questions that you don't really ask. You sort of ask your other Marvel fan mates.
Because I never would have asked the question, "What if T'Challa became Star-Lord?" But now we know what that would. Now we know what that would have been like. I never would have asked the question, what would have happened if Peggy Carter took the serum, or if the Avengers died. Well, I think episode 3 was kind of the closest thing we'd have to a question that someone would be asking. I feel personally about the Avengers dying. Doctor Strange becoming evil, like the sort of evil sorcerer, was kind of hinted at in the first movie. Like they were worried he was going to become like Mad Nicholson's character, Caecilius, like where he's going to follow the dark arts and whatnot. And then this is basically showing us him doing that. It's like him becoming like an evil version of himself. All under the premise of wanting to get the girlfriend character from the first film, Christine Palmer, who was the nurse that he was with, resurrecting her from the dead, basically, in his core, kind of core reality, I suppose. Because every time he travels back in time, I don't know if that creates, again, another multiverse.
It might create
adds more to the multiverse by making new realities. every time he goes back and he changes the scenario on how she dies.
Two instances of the same
event.
Doctor Strange existed, didn't it? Because like that's how he was able to like in the end fight himself. Like, and
but
what I actually love that the villain won.
The villain won, but it had repercussions from his loss.
Exactly. And then instantly was like, no, punish me, and
he couldn't do, and the Watcher couldn't do anything about it, and then dead. That's it. It's done. So that universe has been that timeline.
That proves that
universe has been wiped
evil
out.
Doctor Strange wins, but also loses because he doesn't get what he wants. He loses in reality,
and he loses his life.
Literally, yeah. Because he didn't understand the repercussions. He only was deluded enough to want basically his one true love back, but the repercussions were deemed to fail. Basically.
We all do crazy things for love. Don't we?
He just took it an extreme.
Yeah,
he had literally had everyone like universe in its like in the grasp. But it was I loved that he like lost but won. The villain won, but he lost what he wanted. He didn't get what he wanted in the end.
It's controversial to explain.
It's very, very good way of ending it because it wasn't a happy ever after. Even though it was a happy ever after for the villain, it was just
not
reality.
Really, for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was like no, please. But then of course the universe comes to an end. I did feel though that a lot of the episode felt very like montagey. It felt very.
I think that was the point.
It was the point. I know, because obviously you had to show decades and decades and decades of time passing, and you had to show the villain
back and forth.
Yeah, you had to show the villainous Doctor Strange becoming who he was. Which
did they use the same voice actors, by the way? Because when I heard like Doctor Strange in a clip, it didn't sound like Benedict, but then when I watched him in the episode, it did. So I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was.
I noticed
Benedict.
It was him.
I know he would do TV because he did Sherlock. But
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah, sounded like it. I don't know about the actress who played Christine Palmer because she wasn't.
I was trying to guess. It might be. I think it was. I think they are getting them.
To be fair, she wasn't very memorable from the movie. Not gonna lie, she is back in the main actress who did play her from the first movie is back in the sequel. I know that.
Yeah.
But she wasn't very memorable in the original movie completely. So I don't know if they would have asked her to come back because there's been loads of actors they haven't asked to come back, or actors that haven't been able to come back. Or I know there was a whole thing about Dave Bautista would have done it, but there was his agent like misheard or missed a call or something like that, so he didn't get in the details for it or whatever. So it was an agent error as to why he wasn't involved in it at the time. So that's why he didn't do the voice for it. But then he ended
I'm pretty sure they were
anyway because he was doing that new. I want to say Fear the Walking Dead or Walk the Walking Dead or something. What's this zombie thing he's been in or whatever?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Batista.
He was doing that at the time, so he couldn't have done it. So then he couldn't end up doing it anyway.
No.
So they got whoever did his voice in episode 2.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that these have all been the same voice actors, bar like a couple. I'm not sure if Iron Man was Danny Jr.
No, Robert Downey Jr. didn't come back for this because with the whole contract thing with Marvel anyway. He would have happily done it, but I think because of the whole contract, and they just didn't want to. They wanted people to feel like this is new, so they ended up getting probably one of the most famous, non-memorable names, but one of the most famous voices in animation, Mick Wiggett, who's played who no one knows, but he's played like thousands of characters in animations. He's played Tony Stark, Iron Man in Lego animations. He's played him in a lot of the Disney Plus Marvel animated shows. He played Poe in Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness, the animated TV show. It came out like 10 years ago. Spin-off to Kung Fu Panda, the movie. He's played a lot of side characters in that. He played Spider-Man as well in one of Spider-Man's animated shows. And he's been in some of the DC shows as well. animated DC shows. He's been in other stuff as well. I can't think off the top of my head what. He did a lot with Nickelodeon, so that might answer your question. But yeah, his voice is more famous than him. But, like
pretty much.
You can tell it's him like when you listen to him. It's like Frank Welker is known for doing like animal noises, famously in Hollywood, but no one knows his name and no one thinks it's a voice actor, but it is. It's a guy called Frank Welker. He does all like he does all the voices for the animals, as in like the noises, like ducks quacking and dogs barking, all that sort of stuff. He does all of that. Amazing.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, he's Tony Stark. Off the point of the main episode, but yeah, like.
I think all the voice actors are pretty good. Yeah, whether they are the same or not.
Yeah, they're good like representations of it because they're very like they're making it similar anyway, so they're doing their best.
Yeah.
I like the fact that in the actual film of Doctor Strange, the car crash, because the shot is so dark, you can barely make. It's like watching the last episode of fucking Game of Thrones. You can't make out what the fuck's going on because it's too dark. But like in the episode, because it's animated, it's like they always know how to make a nighttime seeable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
well, it's animation,
you watch nighttime and it's like you still see everything. It's never so dark you can't see anything. And it's like they got like the whole scenario of the car like crashing through the bush, going into like almost like melting into the water where it's broken inside. They got the exact same like different angles, but the same sort of shot, the same like scene, the same crash looking repercussion incident. It was all there. I don't know why I'm not looking at the camera.
Well, no, we've started. We've started to ignore it.
Yeah, it's because I'm looking at you whilst I'm talking to you, but like it looks weird from the camera perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah. It's of course, because of animation, it can look however you want it to look.
Yeah, it's like bright. Like the shot's brighter.
To make the nights brighter. Yeah, basically. I mean, they do that in films a lot of the time. They make this like obviously a lot of the time in films you'll see like extremely like bright moonlight. Like there's just that pastely blue light that is like meant to look like moonlight. That's clearly just a massive fuck off light just out of shot. But like they obviously with an animation. Like what if they're able to, make nighttime as bright as they want? But obviously they're able to do it really well.
But without making it look like daytime or
yeah.
dusk or dawn or whatever.
Yeah.
But then again, this is what if, so they could have done it any time of day if they wanted to. Because obviously in the main film, he's traveling. He's like he decides to do this. So like the way they make it out in the film, and I might have even got the scenario wrong, but in my eyes, it looks like he's doing like his version of an evening patrol. Where instead of like fighting crime, he's finding patients. So he's like just cruising around the street looking for someone sick. And like he's on the phone, like, oh, there's a granny who's like, dying. It's like, oh, come on, give me a challenge, like, sort of thing. And then he crashes the car, then he breaks his hands. In this version, he's going on a date with Christine, the character Christine Palmer, played by whoever. I believe that's the character name. I don't want to be saying the actress's name. Well, I think it is the character name because I remember him going into the hospital in the film and he's like, Christine! I remember him like saying that. I don't know why that line stuck in my head, but yeah. So,
it was really good. I'm trying to actually, get her name. Yeah, because I just had to double check up. Yeah, it's Rachel McAdams that plays Christine Palmer. Yeah.
Did she play her in the films as well?
Let's see. Yeah.
Shit.
Episode 3. Yeah, she's been in tons now actually. Like random. She was in every MCU actor replaced in What If and who. Oh no, that's just random. But yeah.
We can get to that. We can get to that main bulk later.
Another day.
But yeah, what was I going to say?
You've forgotten? Or is it
Shit.
Let us know your thoughts on this episode of What If. Did you enjoy a villainous Doctor Strange? If you didn't, let us know.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry. I don't want to cut you off. I just remember what I was going to say. I love because I was looking at interviews and stuff and like all the behind the scenes like chit chat, and they were saying that they weren't going to introduce any new characters in this.
Right.
They were going to focus on all characters that we already knew. So it just made it a bit more compelling, and like characters that have already been introduced and established. They weren't going to focus on like Shang-Chi or Eternals or anything like that in these what-if scenarios because we technically haven't really met them yet.
No.
Until their movies or TV shows. Like we weren't going to be getting anything that we've just got with those characters either. Apart from like obviously Loki last week and just any of them. But they said they weren't going to introduce any new like big main concepts or anything. But yet in this episode, it's like they took Doctor Strange to a location that I don't think.
They went to the library of
your everyday person who doesn't check YouTube or internet and doesn't look up like stuff, to know about characters and whatnot, isn't like basically a passive fan, is not going to be familiar with why he's gone to the location he goes to study about.
Basically me.
Basically you. Is not going to understand the location he travels to. And I can't even remember the name.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the name of it. It's like where there's that massive, like, it's the library. It's got the massive, like, hole in the wall. And then he's studying. Like, to me, that's like something that they would introduce in a follow-up movie.
Yeah.
And it's something that, because he is who he is, he's already going to know what it is. But we learn as an audience member. But watching this, it kind of felt like, this feels like sequel territory a little bit. Is this what's going to happen in the second film? He's going to like, Christine's going to die and then he's going to go here to try and bring her back. And then he's going to be like, oh shit, hang on, tried that, didn't work. That reality tried that, didn't work. Reference to What If.
Yeah.
He finds a way to either make it work or accepts that it's not going to. Yeah.
There we go.
That would be, and then for some reason Scarlet Witch is there as well. And the multiverse is already broken, so he's got to fix it. That would be a bad plot for two. Yeah, I wonder if because I suppose a lot of these do have to be made for a reason. So there must be like huge influence in like the proper MCU timeline for these characters. If the show's episodes are gonna revolve around them specifically, like obviously you had Captain Carter as the protagonist of the first episode, T'Challa Star-Lord for the second, technically Nick Fury for the third, I suppose. With a bit of Loki as well, but Loki's not going to be Loki's like kind of like ruling Earth now. Again, because of that, I feel like that would have been at least referenced or mentioned in episode 4 if that was in the same universe. So and because the universe died, I think all 4 of those realities are different. And I know at the end of the series in episode 9, they're building up towards this team that they've got. They did it in the comics. I think. I want to say they did. I think I remember seeing comic books about it. Guardians of the Multiverse is the name of this team, and they're basically the new event. They're basically a new version of the Avengers.
Right.
This like universe. So you have Captain Carter, T'Challa Star-Lord, and I can't remember the other characters to save my life. That were on that team. I think the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man character that we're going to get in the Zombies episode, which is either week 7 or week 8, is what we're shut up, is what we're gonna is going to be another member as well. I don't know how they did the rights to that, actually. That'll be an interesting conversation. I'm assuming it's just the same scenarios when he was in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. It's just like, because it's not the Tom Holland Peter Parker, which makes it a bit complicated.
Yeah, it goes back.
Yeah.
But there we go. What If episode 4.
If you wanted us to touch on something we've forgotten, please let us know in the comments. In the meantime, we'll be back on Friday for our review of Shang-Chi.
It's been a while since Marvel for yourself, Card. And
I know. Well, not really, but yeah. Well, in terms of Marvel movies, film
related, the cinematic universe instead of the series universe. But there we go. Yeah, let us know your thoughts.
Well, it is. It's still the cinematic universe because it's set in
the telematic universe.
MTU.
There we go.
Or the MSU, the Marvel streaming universe. But no, it's the same fucking universe. Well, anything that's a footaged film or TV show is still kind of cinematic. They make it a cinematic experience, even if you are watching it on the small screen. I mean, you like, because when you do get like these copies on like digital downloads or DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, or they're watching them on stream service, you're watching them on your TV. So technically,
it's all about trying to bring a cinematic experience
anymore,
to your home. It's why people have surround sound systems, and it's why home TVs have got better. It's what you can have literally a 70-inch.
You can call whatever you want, whatever you want now. So yeah,
like there you go. You can bring the cinema experience.
Speaking of that, I think I'm going to go shopping after this video. So yeah,
there we go.
Trying to get that motion smoothing for
no, we don't endorse motion smoothing. It does not help the cinematic experience. No,
yes, but it makes your product. It makes the product look more realistic, gives it the soap opera effect.
It does.
I know Tom Cruise doesn't
hates
like
that effect. Literally everyone.
Why? Because it looks real. It makes it look actually like it's not fake.
Right. We're gonna have this topic.
By the way,
time,
just to elaborate, the fact making it look real does not mean that Mark Ruffalo is going to go from looking like the Hulk to looking like a guy in a big grey pajamas.
And on that note, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on Friday for Shang-Chi. Yeah. Have a good day.
Right, you clickbaiter. The audience do what they want to do.
Yeah, but we need to endorse those subscriptions and those like the crap out of it. And we'll see you Friday. And then next Monday.
No more than 21.
21? Like? Yeah,
21.
20, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Ta-ta for now.
He says love us, I say do what you want. Bye.
Oh, fuck, what recorded? Keep that in.